Hi, I'm Jeff Tucker, Principal Economist at Windermere Real Estate, and this is a local look at the latest data from the Northwest MLS.
As we approach the end of the spring selling season, we can now say it was a bit disappointing for sellers. On the flip side, that means this summer will likely provide some bargains for buyers who are in a position to act. Across the entire Northwest MLS, there were 2% fewer closed sales in May 2026 than in May of last year, the exact same drop that we saw in April. Pending home sales ticked up by 1% from last year. The big news in this month's release, though, was on the supply side, where the flow of new listings was 4% less than in May of 2025. That's actually the first slowdown in new listings all year. And finally, the month ended with just over 17,500 active listings around the MLS, or 17% more than last May, after it was up 30% year over year in April. That tells me sellers have begun to pick up on the softer demand signals this spring, and they've begun to pull back. That'll be an important trend to track in the months ahead to see if it continues. Now, the median sale price ticked down from last May as well by just $2,500, leaving it basically flat at $675,000 across the MLS. Now I'll take a closer look at the 4 counties encompassing the greater Seattle area. Closed sales declined by 2%, or just about 80 homes from last May around the region. Snohomish and Pierce counties actually led that decline by 5% each, while King County was flat and Kitsap saw sales pick up a bit. Still, that left King County well below 2024's sales volume. Median sale prices were flat or down slightly all around the region. They're down the most by 4% in Snohomish County to $800,000, while they have now inched down to $975,000 here in King County from about $1 million 2 years ago in May. Looking ahead, pending sales were flat around the region with a drop of 3% in King County, but that's a little ambiguous because this May ended on a Sunday when pending sales are rarely recorded. So for that reason, there's a chance to actually see a little pickup in pending sales in June, as some of that final weekend's activity in May leads to pending sales really in the first couple days of June. On the supply side, the 4-county greater Seattle area ended with only 18% more active listings than May, which marks a sharp slowdown from the 37% growth we had just in April. Every county saw a sharp slowdown in the growth of active listings, which could mark an inflection point in this cycle. So all in all, the local housing data painted a picture of an unusually buyer-friendly spring selling season this May here in the greater Seattle area, as prices cool down slightly and sales activity falls a little bit short of last year's. Now we are approaching the time of year with peak inventory and near peak buying activity, so I still expect plenty of time for more buyers to find the right home amid a slightly less frenzied setting. In fact, if geopolitical news improves and mortgage rates come back down towards 6%, the market could even catch a second wind. But in the meantime, the data suggests that sellers benefit now more than ever from a professional, polished listing when they go to sell their house in this relatively quiet late spring market.
All right, that is all I've got for this local look at the May 2026 data. Thanks as always for watching.